without a doubt. Yes. The five of us need all the help we can get, so thank you for agreeing to show up today. If we may do a roll call, if you would, please, Michelle. So we can just for the sake of confirming that we have a quorum, I know physically we do.
Yeah, you just want to say your name, start with Sherry.
Sherry Hines Hanson Whitson. I'm sorry, I have like
Yes,
so
you're good.
many.
Rick Jackson.
Dick Gibson.
Ken Bateman.
We have 5 people present, which means we have a quorum. All right. I want to believe everybody has minutes and information in front of them. Ken, you seen all this?
Yes, I have.
Sherry, if you
Yes.
also,
Yes.
if everyone has seen the minutes, I will entertain a motion to accept them.
Move they be accepted as written.
5 seconds.
It's been moved and properly seconded that the minutes be accepted. Sherry, I'll start with you on a vote on your end, please.
Aye.
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 And they are approved. We have no old business before us, but we have some new business. Tonight, we get to elect officers.
Oh.
We need to elect a chair and a vice chair.
And chair and a vice chair. Okay.
Well, I propose that we keep it status quo. It's been running along pretty well.
As long as Rick is,
Yes, if you're willing.
yeah.
I'm always willing to participate in whatever the 5 of us determine that we would care to do. But your motion can't go forward unless someone seconds it.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that we maintain the status quo. Are there any questions? Any reconsiderations? Any other nominations?
We're a fine oiled machine, how we're running.
So the ballot would be, if we maintain the status quo, is I'm the chairperson and Ed is the vice. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that's palatable for everyone.
Yeah.
And I'll start with voting on your end.
Aye.
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 Aye, it's unanimous. We're here together. I do have a question, but that's an aside. But that's a question already directed to Michelle offline.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we've gotten that done, and we're looking at our next order of business is a law review.
Yes.
If you would, please, Bethany.
1128 3rd Avenue is in the 3rd Avenue Historic District. This is a proposal for the installation of 31 roof-mounted solar panels. It's a wood frame 2-story Queen Anne style house. It's a contributor to the district. The nomination does note that the attached garage was added in 1970. The proposed 31 roof-mounted solar panels are proposed on 3 sides of the primary house, which is a hipped roof, east, south, west, and including the front-facing roof and on both sides of the gabled roof attached garage. And this was included in your packet, so you can see the layout. The proposed project shall be reviewed utilizing the Secretary for Rehabilitation as set forth by the Secretary of the Interior. A property shall be used for its historic purpose or be placed in a new use that requires minimal change to the defining characteristics of the building and its site and environment. No such change is proposed. 2, the historic character of a property shall be retained and preserved. The removal of historic materials or alterations of features and spaces that characterize a property shall be avoided. The proposed roof-mounted solar panels on the front, east side, will be highly visible from the street, altering the historic character. 3, each property shall be recognized as a physical record of its time, place, and use. Changes that create a false sense of historical development, such as adding conjectural features or architectural elements from other buildings, shall not be undertaken. No such change is proposed. Most properties change over time. Those changes that have acquired historic significance in their own right shall be retained and preserved. No such change is proposed. Distinctive features, finishes, and construction techniques or examples of craftsmanship that characterize a historic property shall be preserved. No such change is proposed. Deteriorated historic features shall be repaired rather than replaced. No such change is proposed. Chemical or physical treatments such as sandblasting that cause damage to historic materials shall not be used. No such change is proposed. Significant archaeological resources affected by a project shall be protected and preserved. No ground disturbing work is proposed. 9. New additions, exterior alterations, or related new construction shall not destroy historic materials that characterize the property. The new work shall be differentiated from the old and shall be compatible with the massing, size, scale, and architectural features to protect the historic integrity of the property and its environment. The proposed solar panels will be differentiated but not compatible on the front side. 10. New additions and adjacent or related new construction shall be undertaken in such a manner that if removed in the future, the essential form and integrity of the historic property and its environment would be unimpaired. No such work is proposed. I'm happy to take any questions. And I believe we've got some representatives for the property.
Okay, and I believe at this point, I would open it up. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can do that.
We do or don't?
Yeah, you can.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to care to open it up if we have a representative of the property here. You don't
Please
mind?
come to the mic and
Please come
state
to the
your
mic
name and address.
State your name and address.
At the podium.
Right over there.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
Nope, you're good.
Yes, I am Brady Lunsford. I'm with Invictus Solar, the contractor and installer of the proposed solar system. Homeowner is here as well. We'd like to, I was looking at the street view, which you have pulled up. The only ones that technically would be visible from the street would be those 3 panels front facing on those 2 roof faces on either side of the dormer is the ones that we are proposing. Hoping to install the solar system as a complete whole, but those are the only ones that are street facing that could be visible from the street view. So those were the only, I'll introduce myself and see what your all thoughts were on those street facing ones.
I think my only reference that I made on it, I want to say it's item number 9 on the criteria. I think we talked, where it mentioned the panels on the front.
And criteria 2.
Okay, and criteria 2.
So, is it open for questions?
Yes.
What's the lifespan of the actual, product on the building?
Yes, they all have a 25-year warranty, production and manufacturer warranty guaranteed for 25 years.
Because my question would be, it's not really an eyesore so much now, it's just down the road, and we want to preserve the integrity of it, for future use. That's one of my concerns. So, is there anything in place, 25 years, does that mean if there's an upgrade, it'll be upgraded?
They will continue working at in the 25 years. They guarantee that they'll be at 100% as of 25 years, and that's how far manufacturer warranties go. They're complete black facing. There's no lines or anything like that that kind of differentiate them, so they kind of blend in with the roof. They stick about 6 inches off the face of the roof. They're not they're following the contour angle of the roof, so not shaped at any angle. So they do blend in a little bit. There's no, I guess, fading or degradation as far as that goes. Their efficiency would go down at the end of 25 years. But the system itself with the aluminum frames and everything, not gonna rust or anything like that to make it unusable.
And what color exactly is the roof?
It's dark brown, sir.
Yeah. It's a dark brown.
So
And these are,
black panel.
complete black, yes.
So they will stand out.
They are a different shade. That is correct.
Do we, is there like a mock-up picture that you drew?
I have one that I can,
Because I didn't see it in the packet unless I overlooked it. I see the product, I just don't see it on the house.
yeah, you can see the panels. They do have a sheet on there. I do have a paper copy I can bring up to you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like a rendering?
Yeah, just kind of, it's a 3D.
Like to see it kind of to scale a little
Of it.
bit.
You wanna see this just real quick?
Oh,
Yeah, I will.
I drove by and it is gonna be visible from most angles, but
You know?
it's gonna be most, like the highly visible from the street view,
The character.
impacting the district.
Just afraid,
Yeah.
you know, like in 25
and I will just note, talk with Homer, we did just
What's that gonna
replace
look like?
the shingles, which are now a darker shade than what is currently on the roof of the images of the street view.
But they're the.
It's still brown,
Okay,
You'll see it a little bit better in that.
but it is
So
darker.
the color shingles on that image you're looking at is a very light brown.
Yeah, it looks dark on that. Yeah, thank you.
because when we try to address the consideration of how much that, you know, that visualization is gonna modify that piece, that was just, I guess, my small consideration when you mentioned the solar panels, because I've looked at panels in a couple other different locations around town, so that was just kind of my inquiry.
With the
Here, I'll
square,
just put it on
with the
any-
square footage of this house, 2 stories, I'm assuming you're not gonna air condition the basement or any requirement of that nature. Does it really require this many panels?
Yes.
Or are we selling power back to the
No, this is under 100% of the usage. We never try and go above that because the power company doesn't pay, a very good percentage back, about a third of what the customer would pay for. So we always try and size it under what the house, usage is for that.
So there is no profit that way for you?
Yes, there's no profit of sell back to the power
Right.
company, it's just saving you from having to buy as much from them.
Have you, I'm sorry, was somebody else? Have you done these on another house in the area that we might be able to see?
Yes, we have other houses in Leavenworth that we have done,
Is
solar systems for.
is there, unfortunately, I kind of want to see them, you know?
And
You
you
can.
can.
Propose
this.
tabling.
Mhm.
Yeah, I hate to do that, but I'm just, my brain right now is just ticking that I'd like to see a little bit more of it on something else to kind of see, maybe different variations. I don't know how long somebody's had some in Leavenworth.
I can get some photos and be able to send those over to review or whatever.
Yeah, I hate to be a
I
stickler,
can
I'm
do
just, the integrity of the historical area is just very important to me, and I and just thinking about the longevity of it more so from an aesthetic standpoint.
To the homeowner, what's the current age of your roof?
Please state your name and address.
Fritz Schultes, homeowner, 1128 Third Avenue. About 10 hours, sir. They just replaced it today.
Oh, okay.
We had hail damage. I was having a new roof put on. I figured solar would be a good time. Put new panels on with the new roof. That way I'm not having to replace anything for 15 to 20 years. That's why I'm trying to do all this at one time. I kept the roofing material the same color as was previous. So if it's gonna come down to, I can't put solar panels on because I didn't go with the black roof to match the panels, it's gonna be mildly frustrating since they just put the roof on today. The other concern is if you vote no on this, then you're setting a precedent that historical homes can't have solar.
Sure.
Are there any other, I've never heard of one, are there any other historic homes in Leavenworth that have them?
That was.
That we know of?
Not
the question.
residential. We did just approve, you'll see in your, minor, because they're not visible, it's on the Immaculata High School, the local
yeah,
hotel.
yeah.
It's a flat roof with parapet, so they won't be visible. That's the only one that I've
So the
seen.
ones that, when I said, is there another home we could see, they're all modern, not historical then? Okay. Yeah.
Do you have pictures of historical homes even outside of the city of Leavenworth that you could provide?
I have to search. We've done a number of projects in KCMO historical districts that we have put some solar systems on. Might take me a little bit of time to find some photos.
I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, I really do. I mean, that's my thought process. I'm sorry, I don't mean to hog the conversation here, but
That's not hogging a conversation, that's giving insight.
yeah, that's my insight right now. Yeah.
I think I kind of raised that question because when he mentioned that they were on the front, and so hopefully we would get to where, so hypothetically, if you didn't have the two panels that were on the front that I'm gonna look at every time I drive past there, does that almost meet the qualification piece? It meets the criteria for 8 out of 10, is that correct, Bethany?
Yes. But some of them are not applicable, like archaeology and,
Right.
Right.
From the angle
Yes,
she
sir.
brought up here, that's the north-facing side. So there wouldn't be solar panels on the main roof of that north-facing side. They would be on the carport.
But they would be on the roof of the carport, sir, is that
That's
correct?
correct.
Okay, thank you.
And then
So
they'd be on the
right here,
south-facing
Rick.
side, which you're not able to see. I back up to an alley, and that alley dead ends into my driveway. So anything on the south, west facing side, you would not be able to see from the street.
Can we click that open again?
this.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. So a majority of them are gonna be on that flat roof in the back, correct?
That's correct.
Here's the, and then the adjacent, next to the adjacent house. I can go over that way if you'd like. It's kind of hard to see on the Google Maps.
Yeah,
Based on all the vegetation that my neighbor has,
from the west side, is that on the west?
yes, and the fact that that Third Avenue is one way, so
Yes.
nobody drives north on Third Avenue. It's really not possible to see those south-facing panels.
I'm dizzy now.
I'm sorry. So this is the back.
This is the backside of it.
Yeah.
But from Third Avenue.
Fourth Avenue, I'm sorry.
So the street, just for me, it's actually going north and south?
So.
The front,
Third
in front of,
Avenue
yeah,
is-
Third Avenue is going
is
north.
south only,
Okay,
and Fourth Avenue is north only.
okay,
So you wouldn't be seeing it driving.
yeah. Any other considerations?
I think it is set back sufficiently enough to not become an eyesore for anybody who lives around there or a block away from there like I do. It's pretty far set back from the road. I really don't have any issue with it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I drive a lot, you know, Meals on Wheels and, you know, food banks and stuff. I don't even notice them on any houses. To be honest with you, we've got our two neighbors on both sides have them. Now, they sell back though. I don't know how it works, but they actually sell back to the electric company. I have no problem with this.
Okay. So at this point, I have two options here. I can entertain a motion to A, table this for further information, or B, proceed with a vote to endorse the recommendation.
I have one more question. The panels that are on the front, can they be suspended in the backyard?
There's not really enough room in the backyard to do so without drastically taking out my backyard.
I want to hear that from the contractor.
Yeah, with the vegetation and everything in the backyard, there's no way without cutting down a lot of trees that you could put a ground mount or anything back there, if that's what you're talking, or just moving back. We've kind of filled the roof as much as possible to try and accommodate that. There's not really any other roof faces. There's the north roof face, but that one would not give him near the production that east would, due to the shading.
I have another question. If we chose to table it, how much would this set you back? Like, time-wise, another month? Are you having to make this decision like right now? Are we like pressed against the wall here?
I've actually already put a third of a down payment on this system. So I am financially invested already.
So, but did you think about this prior to, like, was this an afterthought?
I was never told that, I didn't know that I was a part of the Third Avenue Historic District when I
Okay.
bought my house 7 years ago.
Okay, interesting.
So this was
New to you?
very new to me, yes, because when I bought my house, there was no documentation stating that I was part of a historic district.
Well, I'm in a bit of a quandrum. I don't want to hold anybody up. However, integrity of historical neighborhoods are so very important. That's the whole reason I'm on this board or this commission. So I'm going to move for a motion to table it until the next meeting for additional information. That's what I want to do.
Is there a second? Is there a
And
second?
the additional information would be pictures of other houses that are historical, if you can do that. It doesn't have to be in Leavenworth, obviously.
Is there a second? If there's not a second, your motion fails.
I know.
That's just my position.
Yeah,
Sorry, so that takes care of consideration A.
yeah.
Is there a motion for consideration B?
What's,
Consideration
B.
B is to approve them going forward with this project.
Well, the question of the staff is the two parameters that are in question here. If we are to approve it, what are we establishing overall?
I mean, it sets a precedent moving forward that you would allow solar panels on the fronts of buildings. I mean, it's always case by case, and each district's unique and each property's unique, but it does start a precedent.
I'm not a solar panel person at all, period. But it's coming. I mean, it's here. There's all kinds of houses in Leavenworth that haven't put on. Like I said, I've got the two on both sides, and we got 3 more on the block over that are having theirs put in. And it's unfair to be able to put them on certain houses and not on others.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that concern, but I mean, unfortunately, you didn't know you were in a historical neighborhood.
It doesn't have to be all or nothing either. I mean, you could put
Oh.
conditions or,
Well, that's a good point. So But I don't know what those conditions would be, because it sounds like you cannot narrow it down, you can't move the panels. I'm open to suggestions.
Are we also permitted to, because the things that are presented to us similar to this are on a case-by-case basis? And I concede the point that in voting in support of it is we are setting a precedence, which will either mean that we have to come up with a variation in our guidelines for what is or is not permissible in a historical district, which that's just another additional challenge for us, but to support Ed's concept is that solar paneling is coming. And there's really not anything that we're empowered to do to say solar paneling is not coming to the city that we live in, because we all know that there's locations in town that have them. So taking those pieces into consideration, your initial motion failed for lack of a second. Is there a motion to approve this with a understanding?
I make a motion to approve the proposed modifications at 1128 3rd Avenue.
I will second it.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. I have one question. In our verbiage to approve that, would we be able to mention it's on a case-by-case basis? And that's simply to encourage everyone else that is going to follow on with your concept that they're going to need to bring that before us.
That should be in the motion itself.
Yes, it should be in the motion
Can we also
itself.
discuss a little bit too? I understand that times change and we have to adapt, but there's a reason that we have preservation committees and commissions and neighborhoods is also to preserve things. So I think that there's a place for this and not a place for it. And I think if we're gonna do case by case, I'm not sure you can put it in the minutes here for his case. I think that's a broader spectrum that's gonna have to be rewritten somewhere else.
I can't dispute that, but I always, my participation is, I'm required to ask that question. So if you would go, Ken, go ahead and read.
I don't want to make any modifications to my motion.
Okay. That has been motioned and properly seconded that we approve this. All in favor, I'm going to start on your end, Terry.
I'm a nay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Aye.
And aye. The vote is 4-1, which still permits us a majority. I'm giving them a chance to catch up. They're pushing pens across paper. So that, if my understanding is that we have approved your continuance on your work, really appreciate you taking the time to come, because all it does is it helps us do what we've been charged to do better, and appreciate you as a contractor, because we're trying to learn just like anybody else is, and so
Yeah, best of luck to you.
good luck.
So, tomorrow I'll release the permit and the building department will release it to you.
So I have to close the open portion of this meeting, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, it is hereby closed. Is there anything else to come before us?
Yeah, I've been wondering during this conversation, and even before when we got all this information, are there other historic houses here that have already put panels up?
No,
Not that I'm aware of.
not unless they,
Yeah, that's good.
nobody's caught it or if they've slid it in, but I highly doubt that.
Nothing that we've seen.
Right.
Okay, answered.
We do not have a meeting next month. As of right now.
Yay, I'll be in Vegas anyhow.
We'll make some money.
I'll be at the solar convention. I'm not.
We will FaceTime you or whatever, just in case.
Hey, I can take defeat, I'm okay.
I know that.
I'm here for a reason.
I know you,
No,
yes,
you
you
had
are.
good points.
But you make very, very good points. If there's nothing else to come before us, I will entertain a motion.
To close?
Yes?
Oh, okay, I'll do a motion to close this meeting today on January the 3rd, 2024.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and properly seconded that we close the meeting. I'll start with the voting on this end.
Aye.
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 Aye. Meeting is adjourned, and as always, I try to remember to say this. Thank you very much to the staff for the preparation, that you print stuff, explain stuff to me, so that our five brains up here give a competent response when people have inquiries. So, and Happy New Year. And then since we're complete, I just have a question for you guys, which is offline.
Oh, okay.
Oh.